Welcome. I'm truly glad you're here. Today, I want to invite you on a real journey of discovery, something that could completely transform the way you see your life and yourself. When the film The Secret was released, it shook the world. It's estimated that nearly 500 million people were touched by its powerful message. And it all started with one woman who made a decision. Rhonda Byrne wanted to change the world. Her goal, to transform 1 billion lives. And if you're here now, listening to these words, you're already a part of that movement. But what was really behind The Secret? At its core was something far older, far deeper, the law of attraction. After The Secret, a wave of books, courses and videos flooded the world, as if this idea had just been discovered. But the truth is, the law of attraction has been studied for many, many years. Back in 1908, Andrew Carnegie, one of the wealthiest men in history, was already teaching it to a young man named Napoleon Hill, who would later write one of the most influential books of all time, Think and Grow Rich. I myself began studying these laws a long time ago, and I never stopped. Over time, I realized something crucial. The law of attraction is actually a secondary law. There's a primary law, even more powerful, that comes before it. But very few people talk about it. It's called the law of vibration. The law of vibration. Have you ever stopped to realize that nothing, absolutely nothing, occurs in this universe is standing still? Look around you right now. That table, that chair, even your own body. Everything seems solid and still, doesn't it? But science has already proven that's just an illusion. Take a microscope and zoom in on anything. What you'll see is atoms. And if you zoom in even further, you'll find something even more fascinating. Atoms made up of tiny particles. Electrons, protons, neutrons, all in constant motion. So even the things that appear solid are vibrating. We live in a true ocean of energy in motion. This is the law of vibration. Nothing rests. Everything vibrates. But here's what most people don't realize. You've probably heard a lot about the law of attraction, but the truth is, most people only understand it on the surface. They think that just thinking positive or repeating affirmations is enough to attract what they want. And sure, thought is a starting point, but something much deeper is happening behind the scenes, your vibration. The universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to the frequency you're emitting. Think about it. You are made of energy, your body, your thoughts, your emotions, all of it, energy in motion. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, is sending out a specific frequency. For example, when you feel gratitude, love, joy, your vibration rises. When you feel fear, doubt, anger, your vibration drops. And here's the truth that changes everything. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you vibrate. It's just like tuning a radio. If you want to hear classical music, you can't tune into a rock station. If you want to attract abundance, but you're vibrating scarcity. If you want to attract love, but you're vibrating fear of abandonment, you're simply tuned in to the wrong frequency. So what's the key? If you want to change what you attract, you must change what you vibrate. And the good news is, you have 100% control over your vibration. You can choose what you feel. You can choose what you think. You can choose how you act. And when you make that conscious choice, again and again, every single day, the universe responds because you are energy, your thoughts, your body, your emotions, all vibrating at a specific frequency. And that frequency determines what you attract. You were born rich. Here's a truth most people never hear. You were born rich. Rich in talents, rich in abilities, rich in potential. Some people may have little money, but inside they carry deep reservoirs of wealth, hidden gifts, shelved dreams, untapped power. Your outer world is simply a reflection of your inner world, goals and dreams. Before we dive deeper into the power of attraction, I want you to pause and think about your goals. There are 3 types of goals, and understanding this can completely shift the way you approach your dreams. Type 1. Comfort goals. These are the goals you already know how to achieve. Things like organizing your closet, finishing a task at work, going for a walk every day. You've either done them before, or you know exactly how to get them done. They're safe, they're comfortable, they're predictable, but here's the thing, they don't create real change. They only keep you where you are. Type 2 logical challenge goals. These are the goals you believe you can reach. They'll require effort, planning, dedication, but they still feel doable with the resources and knowledge you already have. These goals push you a little, but they don't transform you. Type 3 expansion goals. Now this is where the real magic happens. Expansion goals are the ones you truly desire, but have no idea how to achieve. They seem impossible, but just thinking about them makes you feel alive. These are the goals that force you to grow, that stretch you beyond who you think you are. When the Wright brothers set out to build an airplane, they had no clue how to do it, but they had an unshakable belief. They would find a way. When Roger Bannister decided to break the 4-minute mile, he didn't know how either, but he believed, and when he did it, he opened the door for others to do the same. You don't need to know how your dream will come true. You just need to decide what you truly want. Clarity comes first. The path reveals itself afterward. Everything already exists. There's a fascinating truth that modern science has already revealed. Nothing in the universe is ever truly created or destroyed. Everything that exists today, from a single drop of water to the most distant star, is made of energy. And that energy, it doesn't disappear. It simply shifts, reorganizes, transforms. And once you truly understand this, you begin to see something powerful. Everything you desire already exists. Maybe not yet in physical form, not yet visible to your eyes, but it already exists as energy waiting for you to align with it. Think about the water bottle near you right now, the plastic around it, the liquid inside, the label, the cap. All of it is made from the same core substance, energy, condensed into different frequencies. The same is true for your body. Look at your hand right now. That hand is not the same as it was a few seconds ago. Millions of cells are dying and being replaced in every moment. Your body is like a river, flowing, changing, renewing itself constantly. You are, quite literally, a being in constant transformation. And if your body, this thing that feels so solid, is changing all the time, just imagine what you could change in your external reality. Every thought you have is an energetic instruction. Every emotion is a password unlocking a new version of reality. So when you desire something, a new home, a loving relationship, a successful career, you're not creating it from thin air. You're simply tuning your vibration to receive what already exists in energetic form. It's like the universe is an infinite radio station, with every possible song playing at once. The song you hear depends only on the frequency you tune into. You already have everything you need. The key is not to force things into existence. The key is to align your vibration with what you desire. Inside of you already lives the courage you seek, the love you dream of experiencing, the prosperity you long to receive. You don't need to look outside yourself. It's already within you, waiting for you to believe, to feel, and to vibrate at the right frequency. Because when you shift your energy, the entire universe begins to move in your direction. The reality you dream of isn't some distant destination. It's a different frequency that you can begin to access right now. The mind and vibration. The human mind is an extraordinary tool, divided into two main parts that work together to shape your reality: your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is your thinking mind. It's where you reason, analyze, judge, make choices, and create new ideas. Every time you make a decision, build a plan, or imagine a different future, it's your conscious mind at work. You can think of it as your manual pilot, the part of you that deliberately directs your thoughts. But your subconscious mind? That's a whole different world. It is the emotional mind. It doesn't think, it doesn't question, it doesn't analyze. It simply accepts as truth whatever you repeat with emotion and intensity. And here's the key. Your subconscious is what determines your vibration, the energetic signal you're constantly sending out to the universe. In other words, your conscious thoughts plant the seeds, but it's your subconscious that nurtures those seeds and grows the fruits you experience in your life. And there's more. Your body is just the instrument, carrying out whatever's been programmed into your subconscious, your habits, your automatic reactions, your daily behaviors. These are not random. They're direct reflections of what's been recorded inside you. It doesn't matter how badly you consciously want to change. If your subconscious is programmed another way, it will always pull you back to the same old patterns. It's like trying to drive a car. With the parking brake still on, you use up all your energy and barely move forward. Paradigms, the hidden programming. Have you ever wondered why, even when you know exactly what you should do, something still seems to hold you back? Why do so many people say, "I know what I need to do, but I just can't seem to change"? The answer lies in a powerful invisible force: paradigms. So what are paradigms? Paradigms are mental patterns formed by beliefs, habits, behaviors, and conditioning that were recorded in your subconscious, often from a very young age. And these patterns are not passive. They control about 95% of your life. They shape the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. All on autopilot. Your paradigm is like a background program on a computer. You may consciously want to behave a certain way, but if the underlying program is wired differently, it will sabotage your efforts every time. That's why you often feel torn between what you know you should do and what you actually end up doing. The good news: paradigms can be changed. Yes, they can be reprogrammed, and that happens through the conscious repetition of new ideas and behaviors, associating those ideas with strong emotions, because emotion imprints new patterns on the subconscious. Clear and consistent mental images of the new version of you that you want to become. Reprogramming doesn't happen overnight, but with discipline, persistence, and clear intention, you can replace old limiting programs with powerful, aligned paradigms. The result: a brand new vibration. When you change your paradigm, you change your vibrational frequency. And since your vibration determines what you attract, your outer world begins to shift to match your new inner patterns. What once felt difficult or out of reach starts to manifest more naturally, because now you're operating from the inside out, instead of trying to change the effects without ever addressing the cause. True transformation begins at the level of paradigm. And yes, it's completely within your reach. So now I ask you, what do you truly desire? What is the dream that makes your heart beat faster? Decide. Write it down, visualize it, feel it, hold the vision, stay focused. You are far more powerful than you think. You are energy in motion. The law of vibration, and therefore the law of attraction, are already working in your life every single moment. The only question is, are you vibrating at the level of your dreams or at the level of your fears? If this message resonated with you, leave a like, share this video with someone special, and subscribe to the channel. Your new life begins now, See you in the next video.